Hari Om and welcome to all the Divine Atma Jyotis. Let us continue our contemplation of Aparoksha Anubbhti talks by Sri Prabhu ji. As of now, we have completed contemplating on the day 4 based talks. So we have created various questions on the day 4 and we have completed the contemplation of all these questions. From our next session, we can go into day 5. But meanwhile, couple of questions have come up as we have been discussing. What is being referred as ad hoc questions. So the first question that has come up is self-realization and self-actualization. What is self-realization and what is self-actualization? Is there a difference between these two? That is the question. So let us contemplate on self-realization and self-actualization. Who would like to share your view first? Yeah, Shubhaji.
Yeah. So I have only bookish knowledge. I don't know the real this thing. So based on that, I will just put it across, sir. So self-actualization, what I know is that it is nothing but a person reaching his individual potential, or he reaches his full potential is self-actualization. See, for example, if my passion is writing or singing, reaching that full potential is self-actualization. Self-realization is something which is letting go of your ego and being in that moment. So this is what the difference I understood.
Okay.
Yeah, my
Okay.
understanding. Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you, Shubhaji.
Thank you, sir.
Deepaji, how do you see this?
Self-realization is knowing myself, the Atman, and the nature of the Atman, and to know who am I. I mean, yeah. Then self-actualization is reaching the highest point. I mean, like what Shubhaji said, what I can do or what I want to do, achieving that, and what I actually think of myself to be in this material world.
So you're also referring to actualization in terms of becoming something, whereas realization is realization of who I am, is what you're saying.
Self-realization refers to the Atman and self-actualization refers to the material world.
Okay. Anything more you would like to add, Deepaji?
No, sir.
Thank you. Shailajaji, what is your perspective?
So sometimes I feel both are same, but at the other way around, I feel like a self-realization. If I take this our classes, spiritual classes, when I'm with Prabhuji or with our satsang team, I feel it is a self-realization. And after this class, immediately that what I apply in my actual day-to-day life and what I attain, that I feel it is a self-actualization.
So it's more of truth, realize and use. In that,
Yeah.
Truth and realization is the self-realization part you're saying, and actualization is the use part.
Yes, both are very much interconnected. We can't leave any of these.
Okay, excellent. Very nice.
Thank you.
See, when it comes to all these words, again, words can be interpreted in many different ways, because words many a times don't necessarily have a fixed meaning. So it all depends upon how much depth you associate with that, right? So as a simple example, in a typical journey of a human being, when we look at what is that I need from life, so I start with various physical needs: food, water, shelter. All these are the basic needs, fundamental needs, right? Without food, I cannot survive. Without shelter, it is impossible. So like that, some basic minimum physical needs. I have a feeling I need that. Not only that, there is basic minimum psychological need also. So I need to feel safe in an environment. So if I'm very afraid of, let's say, as an example, I'm very afraid of, say, snakes, and I'm made to sleep on the ground in a forest where snakes may be crawling, I may feel very unsafe. So like that, there is a need for certain sense of safety. Or to take another example, I may want to feel safe from thieves and burglars. And I want to feel safe from people who maybe, let's say, physically harass others. So like that, I may have a safety need. I feel I need to be safe. So look at it, each one of us have these basic needs. Yeah, so only when these basic needs are fulfilled, if let's say I'm very hungry, I'm not getting enough food to eat, where is the question of I even thinking about is there something more to life than this? Then my life is only about, okay, where can I get my next meal? If all my energy is focused on, because of my feeling of lack of food, if all my energy is focused on food, where is that time and space for anything else in life, right? So I have these basic needs that need to be fulfilled. Then only next higher level needs can be looked at, which is where, if you look at it, it becomes something called as a psychological need. The next level of needs are not physical in nature; they are psychological. So I want to feel loved. I need friends. I want to share things. I want others to listen to me. I want to feel that I'm respected. I want to feel uh, that I am needed in a given environment. Then comes what is called as a need of esteem, self-esteem. So I want to feel that whatever I'm doing is valued, and that contribution is needed. So many a times in our home, if you notice, many of the quarrels are, is my whatever work I'm doing is really necessary? Are you valuing it or not? And especially this becomes so much more apparent in people who may not necessarily be going and doing something called as a money earning work. In them, for them it feels like the other people, as an example. Again, it is not to make any commentary on any particular type of
You
people.
have took the right example, sir. Don't worry.
As an example, if I'm caring for the home, I may feel that I'm not earning money, so maybe my contribution is not all that important, and the others may seem to ignore my contribution. So there's a need like that. I feel that when I do something, it's very humane. Your child comes running to you and then says, "Mama, Mama, I've done a drawing. Look at it." You look at the drawing and say, "Ah, okay." How would the child feel? The child doesn't feel encouraged, right? What do you naturally feel like doing with your child? You look at the, hey, nice, what a nice color you've used. Wow, look at that yellow, look at that red. sometimes you may make it up, or sometimes you may naturally feel it, right? And you say it. And you may also feel that how the child can be encouraged and still look, the way you've written the nose, nice, but is that how it really looks like? So then the child feels, oh, okay, let me go back and observe more. So like that, you encourage that child. You're not discouraging. You're not saying that this is wrong, nonsense, because you need to begin from where you see the child, right? Nobody can simply ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಗಾದೆ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅಟ್ಟದಿಂದ ಬೆಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ. So first you have to learn how to jump from where you are to one small thing called as atta. In olden days we used to have that atta, and then only you can see how to jump to the betta, right? The phrase is actually the other way. ಅಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಆರದವನು ಬೆಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾರಿಯಾನೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ somebody who cannot jump to the atta, can he jump to the betta? Anyway, that's a separate thing. So like that, we look at how to encourage, right? So, but there's a need in that child. There's a need for fulfillment, prestige. I need to feel, oh, people are valuing me, my contribution. Then there is and this entire thing, especially in the world of psychology, there are different names to all these kinds of models. This is called as a Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay, so there is especially in the current Western world view of thinking, there's a need to associate concepts and ideas with people, right? So apparently this was suggested by Maslow, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay, so self-actualization is seen as the highest in that pyramid of needs. Self-actualization is, oh, I'm reaching my potential. Now, here is where the Indian scientists, rishis and the munis, the Sanatana scientists, they realize that you are much more than your body and mind. Because if you look at this, it is essentially at a simple mind level. See, the power of the mind. The power of the mind is immense, actually. For example, somebody called as a Boman Irani became a successful actor. When he started really acting in movies, he was about 47 or 48. Till then, he used to simply run a bakery. That is what I heard. He used to run a bakery. So at that age, he came into film or movie area and became a successful actor. You and I have seen many videos in our sessions of many extremely wonderful people. Take our Sparsh Shah, who is completely paralyzed from neck below. But through his singing, he is raising millions of dollars to help others. The power of your mind is something that is actually, in one sense, infinite. There is no limit to the power of your mind. It is you who can be a limitation to your power of the mind by saying, I can do this, I cannot do this. By saying, I cannot do this, I myself put a limitation. It's much like, many examples are there. A small child, let's say, is climbing some say tree or something. And the parents are naturally caring for the child. And one of the parent may run to the child and may say, oh, be careful, don't look down, you may fall down. Where is the child going to look at? Naturally, don't look down, will look down. And the child may feel little tense, may feel sweaty, may slip and fall. I told you don't do this, you will fall. So now what is registered in the mind of the child? If I climb, I may slip and fall. So it is not something that I should be doing. Now that impression has gone into the mind of the child. Like that, through various social conditioning, we create limitations in the mind of our children. And the same thing has happened to you and me also. You and I also have put limitations in our mind. I am this only. I am not good at that. I cannot do that. So many of us, especially when we come into the spiritual teachings, many of us complain. I worry a lot. I get stressed a lot. I am always very tense. How can I be free? See, you got into the habit called worrying by how? By creating a habit called worry. As a child, you never had worry. Then somewhere along the line, maybe looking at people around you, you thought that is the way to be an adult. An adult means somebody who's sitting like this constantly. Ayyo, adaita, ayyo, idaita. Because a child is constantly adaitu, idaito. Adaitu, idaito of the child ginta, adaita, ayyo, idaita of an adult may have seemed like a very good idea of life. And maybe that is what you picked up. And now you also are, adaita, ayyo, idaita, ababa. So, adaita, idaita of the child got replaced with adaita, idaita. So, who developed that habit? Who developed that habit? You and I only. So now, when Sadhguru says, or the teacher says, look, you got into that habit, just snap out of it. You develop a new wonderful habit called as look at life like how a child looks at. It's very difficult. Uh, okay, very easy. Just start being like a child. Very difficult. Okay, at least sit and close your eyes and meditate. Oh, I sit, so many hundred thoughts come. So I have constantly trained my mind to look at what is not possible. Constantly I look at what is not possible. Wherever I go, I look at only ditch in the road. So where will I be going? Where will my life be going? To the ditch only. Very obvious. Why? I'm constantly looking at ditch only in life. So look at possibilities. A child looks at possibilities. You, especially little children, when when they want something, you throw 100 challenges at them. They somehow figure out how to circumvent that challenge. I may not have to be a great jnani, but all I have to see is what is that I want in life? What is that I need in life? And how can I focus my energy on what I want versus what I don't want? So, like that, our mind is a fantastic power, but we misuse that power, or we don't even use that power. And we get ourselves into a big hole called as worry, tension, anxiety, right? So our rishis and munis realized that you are much more than your mind. Because if you are able to direct your mind like this, who are you then? The self-actualization pyramid stops at, I have to become the best version of me. But the rishis and the munis said, you are not a limited something that you become. You are not, oh, I'm the best singer, I'm the best movie actor, I'm the best engineer. Of course, you can be that. No doubt about it at all. You can definitely, and you better be. That way, you can serve the world with whatever the talent that is inherent in you. But you are much more, much more than that. You are actually someone who has no need. Look at the wonderful nature of self-realization. You're someone who lacks nothing. Because the pyramid of need is built on the assumption that I lack something. I need something. I want to be loved. They don't love me at all. I need love. I want them to recognize me. I'm so great. I am so small. I want them to recognize me. There is a beggar consciousness. There is a lack consciousness in this so-called pyramid of needs. Our rishis are saying there's nothing wrong. It is very important that this instrument needs food. But realize you are not the instrument itself. Realize there is a divine way of living life. And the divine way of living life is when you recognize your true nature and you recognize that this world and you are not two separate things. Look at the life of all the great masters. Their way of living is what can I give rather than what can I want, what can I get. When you get into a giver consciousness, you will manifest because you have the fantastic power called as mind, which helps you to manifest. Maha Isha, we just now saw, you are the Maha Isha. So someone who can manifest, who can create. So there is no lack in you. You are the very source of that creation. You are that from where everything else is coming. Why are you limiting yourself to, I need that, I don't want that, I want this? Why are you limiting yourself to small, chotu things? Realize your Ishwaratva. Realize your divine nature. And then in that realization, of course, this body and mind has a limitation. This body and mind, for example, may not run like a cheetah. This body and mind may not be heavy and powerful like an elephant. This body and mind may not sing like, let's say, a cuckoo bird. This body and mind may not be a cricketer like Sachin Tendulkar. This body and mind may not look like Aishwarya Rai. But this body and mind has certain power. You are power, you are unlimited power. But when you're expressing through the body and mind, see what is the power that you want to bring out to the world through which you can be of some service to this world. When maybe, as an example, when you cook, people say, wow, your food is so nice, so tasty. Maybe that is your talent. Or maybe you simply are someone who can go and put a hand around your friend's shoulder and simply be there. And that very putting the hand around the shoulder may make your friend feel, thank you, I was so feeling low, and you somehow sensed it. That may be your power through this body and mind. Realizing you have unlimited power, but when you're expressing through the body and mind, there is a certain limitations. Bringing out that. Why? That's the beauty of you. How do you know that a dancer can dance? Only when he dances. So out of joy you bring out, not out of, I want to get something from life. So that is self-realization. Self-realization is not just simply limiting to, I am that consciousness. It's not simply asking who I am question. It is, I am that. And there is none other than that alone. Divine only is. And having a divine life, living a life of divinity. Living a life of divinity means what? Like how the sun expresses, how the wind blows. They seek nothing, but they only offer everything. To seek nothing, to offer everything. And as you offer, you realize you have more and more to offer, and it is a endless, limitless possibility. Like how our Modi ji keeps saying. Somebody asked him, how come you work so much? Are you think that your urja, your energy is limited. That's why you are picking up limited things. when you have to care for this family called Mere Bharatvasiyon of 1.2 billion people, how much I have to work? If you have to work for yourself only, even if you just go work for 2 hours, enough, you will receive enough food. But if you have a family of 4, how much you have to work? You have to earn little more, no? You have to work little more, no? And naturally you get that energy, no? When you were a little child or a teenager, you had only that much energy. When you became a mother or you became a father, suddenly you saw you had more energy. And when you have to take care for your family, you suddenly had a little more energy. So urja, energy, you and I think is limited. No, it is not limited. It all depends upon your scope of thinking. If you think you are the owner of this entire, let's say, Shobha Forest View or whichever area you are in, you will find out ways and means by which you can serve that community. Like that Modi is saying, I feel this is my family. So I get that much of energy. So energy is something that nobody knows where it is, how much it is. It is unlimited. And how much of that you can realize in your life is through what kind of things you take up in your life. If you think all that I can do is cook for 2 people in the house, then that's all you will get limited to. If you step out and say, "Are 2 people, let me see how I can serve the people in this entire street." And there's a devasthana where people keep coming, and I'll see how I can feed all of them every day. Then suddenly you'll find that magically so many things are appearing in your life. Why? That is the nature of life. So what you offer grows in you. That is the true meaning of seva. Give to grow. Prabhuji says, give to grow. What you give is what grows in you. What are you giving? What am I giving? Is the fundamental question you and I need to ask. Hari Om.
So in this pyramid, we can say the self-realization is the topmost. Because self-actualization still in this body-mind.
Body-mind level. Yeah? Self-realization is you are above this pyramid. You are not
above, because self-actualization still in that body-mind level. Self-realization is beyond the self.
Beyond this limited self. So this is the idea of the self through the mind. I am this, I am that. Based on that idea, this pyramid is. I am much more.
More than.
Hari Om Rupaji.
Hari Om, sir. Hari Om.
We have been contemplating on the question self-realization versus or self-realization and self-actualization. That's where all this conversation is happening.
Okay.
Would you like to share your view? Anything that you would like to ask or add?
Shall I tell what I understood?
Yeah, sure.
Self-actualization is what you said, like using our full potential to do great things, which will serve the mankind. And self-realization is realizing our true self. Here, self-actualization is something exterior, where we will be using our body, mind, and intellect. Whereas self-realization is here. There also will be using our body, mind, and intellect to realize our true self, but we realize that we are not the body, mind, and intellect. Is this right, sir?
Yeah. You're not just the body, mind, intellect. See, there is a difference. I am not body, mind, intellect is an initial step to understand who I am truly. But, if I continue to hold on to that, I may start ignoring the body, mind, intellect. But the body, mind, intellect is the way through which you can be part of this existence and through which you are part of this existence. So it's like you have a car. I know you have to realize that I am not the car. But if you ignore the car, if you keep it simply in a garage, it is of no value. Take it out, ride it, go to places, help people, travel with you, tell stories. So that's how you use the car. So this Vandi, this is also that Vandi, this is also that car.
Sir, why is it written including creative activities there?
So
In self-actualization.
yeah. For example, somebody may have a very limited view of my professional achievement. I am for example, let's say a professional singer. So somebody may be thinking, okay, only in that area. Or somebody may be thinking I'm a doctor, only in that area. Or I am a lawyer, only in that area. Including creative activities. See, this is a very simplistic world view of how people move up in life, right? So creative. Okay, in addition to your professional life, I also have the habit of, let's say, painting, singing, drawing. Yeah, even that you should achieve your creative potential. So that's what this pyramid or this diagram is showing. Many people say, no, when I'm singing or when I'm drawing, I feel very content. So good, nothing wrong. This pyramid is not to say that this pyramid is wrong. But what the self-realization is teaching is, look, this is a need-based approach. This pyramid is a need-based approach. Meaning what? There's a fundamental assumption that I lack something. And by doing something, I gain something. And then only I become complete. That is a fundamental misunderstanding in this pyramid. But self-realization is realize that you are complete. Act out of completeness. You are the source of joy. Act out of joyfulness. Then this pyramid will naturally happen because there is no more pyramid then. And you are also not going to be limited by simple thinking processes or the society imposed limitations. Then you can actually see that you can actualize, you can materialize many, many things that others feel, my God, how can one person do all this? Like how we all keep talking about, how can Modi, 76 years old, spend so much of time, 18 hours, 16 hours, travel from one country to another country overnight, still look so fresh. The other day, somebody was saying, as the terms of Modi is increasing, typically when people are working so much, you see that dark spots appear under their eyes, they become dull, they become like this. But somehow in Modi, it seems to be all growing and growing and growing. He seems to be showing more and more energy, as if he's glowing. His glow is increasing. So which brand of shampoo or which brand of face wash is he using? So that's the question, right? Because that brand that he's using is called as self-realization. Because there is no more limitation. There's no more, I want something out of this entire thing. You throw tomatoes at him, he accepts. Eggs at him, he accepts. You praise him, he accepts. He has no limitation.
And the self in self-actualization is not the true self, isn't it?
Self-actualization is, for example, here, if you read that definition, becoming
It is
the
the
best
ego.
version of me. What does it mean to become the best version of me? So, for example, say I have a body of a man, then I want to be the best mother. Impossible. My feeling is I want to be the best mother. I can never be, because as this body, I'm a limited being already. So in that sense, self-actualization is taking the assumption that I'm a body and mind as true and working within those boundaries only. Oh, as a man, I can do this. As a woman, I cannot do all this. So like that, working within the boundaries of this body and mind and seeing what is the highest possible in the boundaries of this body and mind.
Yeah, but when I don't have that boundary in the mind that I am not a man or I am not a woman, then that limitation doesn't come, right?
That limitation doesn't come. Or when you're expressing, you can only do that whatever that instrument allows.
Yeah.
See, as an example, I can realize that I'm not this body and mind. So the feeling of motherhood is not limited to biology. Feeling of motherhood is not coming because I have a certain biological parts. The feeling of motherhood or the feeling of mother or the feeling of care is something lot more deeper and beyond this biology. So in that sense, I can bring out the motherly aspect through me.
Yeah.
I can bring out the fatherly aspect through me. And that fatherly or motherly aspect, see, we sing, right? Guru Matrupita, Guru Bandhu Saka. Guru Matrupita. What does it mean? Guru is Mata, Guru is Pita. So how can the same person, who seem to may have a woman body or a man body, one guru may be a man body, one guru may be a woman body. How can that be both man and Mata and Pita? So what you can bring out through that instrument. So once when you become free from the limitation called I am this body and mind, which is the self-realization. Once when you become free from that I and the world are separate, I'm not truly something else apart from the world. World is nothing but me only. So then there is no more limitation in thinking process. However, when it expresses, depending upon the nature of the body and mind, it expresses. Again, that is an ignorant person's viewpoint. So for a realized one, what is the body? Like how we start in the Vishnu Sahasranama, Vishnu is the Vishwa. The world is God only. World is Vishnu only. Which means what? This world is you only. So then there is no more, I am only expressing through this body and mind. So that's how Loka Kalyana happens. The intention, the sankalpa in a pure being is realized. For an ignorant person's viewpoint, it feels like this body and that body and that body. But it is instantaneous. There is no gap because every body is one body. So instantaneously everything comes through. Manifestation, it happens. Because it's a universal body. And that is the higher level evolution that is the potential that you and I have. So self-actualization limits you to the body and mind thinking. Self-realization helps you become free. And self-actualization is inherent in that. Does that clarify, Rupaji?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So if this is done, the next question was supposed to be on
Dvaita, Advaita, Vishishta Advaita.
yeah, where did it go?
Yeah, right there, sir.
Previous
Next.
slide.
Yeah, this one. Sixth question.
Okay, yeah. We added at the bottom, no? I was looking
Yeah.
at the... Yeah. So this was the next question.
Mm.
Are you
Yeah.
all okay to continue?
We'll take it up next week, sir, when everyone is
Sure.
there. Yeah.
Sure. Then we can end our today's contemplation. Hari Om.
Hari Om.